This year has been a year of layoffs. Across the world, many companies are resorting to mass layoffs. Employees working in multinational companies are in the grip of fear and insecurity amid global job cuts. From Twitter to Meta, from Apple to Amazon, companies are gearing up for recession. While the Indian government has said that the evolving global economic downturn will not impact us, are the ground realities indicating this? Let's unbreak this news.
What we found out is that about a third of the global economy is going to be experiencing a contraction, 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. So there's going to be a lot of slowdown, a lot of economic pain going down in terms of what we'll see next year, and inflation will still be somewhat elevated. And so what we're seeing is, this battle to bring down inflation is underway. It's going to slow down growth. Inflation is gradually going to come down, but next year is going to feel painful.
That was the chief economist of the IMF, Pierre-Olivier Gourinchas, speaking about the devastating impact of the global economic downturn and how this will lead us to a painful next year. Many companies worldwide have already started laying off their employees to prepare for the unforeseen. Amazon's CEO recently said that the mass layoffs would continue into the following year. Apart from Amazon, even companies like Twitter and Meta have started trimming down their workforce.
So I think there are 2 things happening, right? One is a secular trend towards a recession, and I think companies are sort of tightening up their belts towards that and sort of making sure that they are at the right size. At the same time, the second thing is much more specific to company. In case of Twitter, it was acquisition by Elon and change in business strategy. In case of Meta, I think they have been hit by 3 things simultaneously. One is softness on their ad revenues, primarily because of the privacy policy of Apple, which went into effect last year. Second is they have, their user growth has slowed, primarily because they have hit the limit of, how many daily active users they can have. And thirdly, they have made an oversized commitment to metaverse. And I think that is something that investors are really wary about. I think their stock price has dropped by 75%. Just this year. I mean, they were close to a market cap of $1 trillion, and right now they sit at a market cap of $50 billion. So I think they have been hit by these 3 factors simultaneously, and I think that is why you see a huge layoff. And 11,000 employees in a tech company, it's a very large number.
It has been reported that Facebook, Amazon, and Twitter alone have fired more than 38,000 people globally in just a matter of a few days. These massive job cuts are an indication of an economic slowdown. The head of the World Trade Organization warned recently that several major economies face a real risk of sliding into recession as the war in Ukraine rages and the world is in the grip of rising food and fuel prices and soaring inflation. Russia is already in recession, so is the UK, and the US is staring at a possible recession. Japan's economy has shrunk unexpectedly because of inflation and the after effects of the global slowdown. Brazil is facing severe inflation and recession risks, and so are many other countries worldwide. So can India be immune to this? As far as India is concerned, tens of thousands of Indians are staring at an uncertain future. Several tech companies, media and entertainment companies, edtech firms have already resorted to job cuts. Twitter has shunted out more than half of its staff in India. News reports state that Amazon India's layoffs are expected to be higher than layoffs of other tech majors. Many IT companies have frozen their hirings. Numerous companies across the board have said that there will be no increments this year. This is Mahesh Vyas, CEO of CMIE speaking.
So it was 6.8% in July, it's gone up to 8.3% in August. So this is the range, around 7 to 8%. It can go a little below 7, go a little above 8. It doesn't go much higher than that and doesn't quite fall below that. So India's unemployment rate seems to be running in the range of 7 to 8% around now. The reason why the number increased in August is that very elementary. A larger number of people came into the labor market looking for jobs, but the economy could not provide them jobs.
As far as the CMIE data is concerned, after the August run, the unemployment rate in the country in October rose to 7.77% compared to 6.43% in September. A recent World Bank report has stated that an additional 5.6 crore Indians slipped into poverty in the pandemic year of 2020. India is yet to recover from the pangs of the pandemic. Many economists have already forecasted a partial recession for India in the coming quarters. Further layoffs are expected in several key markets, and India has already started feeling the pinch in its job markets. In such a scenario, it is very unlikely for India to remain completely insulated from a global slowdown.